Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It's Monday morning, and I tell you, I fear that with this latest stunt, Prince Harry's sealed his fate as far as any further relations and his status within the royal family. Come to find out that while he was in the UK for his Ravik appeal case that he lost, in between ringing doorbells, he made a visit to his uncle, Charles Spencer, Earl Spencer, out at Althorp. And Harry pitched a proposition to his uncle. He said, you know, all these issues, all these problems, and we have to redefine ourselves. We need to find something solid. I want to change our name to Spencer. His mother's maiden name, of course, Diana. I want to change my name to Spencer. What do you think about that? And Charles Spencer, Earl Spencer, his response wasn't an emotional one. It wasn't based on facts. It was, well, to it, he put Harry off. He said, well, you know, legally there's going to be issues and da-de-da, and just another harangue. It's not going to be worth it. And this put Harry off. Obviously, Charles Spencer doesn't think it's a good idea, and there's enough animosity between him and King Charles to begin with that he doesn't want to get in the middle of this again. You know, another rogue Spencer here. And think about it. What good would this do for Harry and Meghan? Well, as part of a larger rebrand, she can go from Sussex to Spencer. Legally, you're allowed to change your name. You can do it going through the court and petitioning and getting it and all legal, or you can really just start assuming a new name and that's what you call yourself. And really, so it's not an issue except for, well, just the thought of him doing this, just the thought of him asking Earl Spencer, and the fact that this gets out in the press so that the world knows that Harry's thinking, oh, I want to align with the Spencers against the royal family, yet he wants all the Ravik perks, he wants all the protection, he wants all the intelligence, he wants the money and the status. They want the titles. How are they going to keep titles and be Spencers at the same time? Oh, good grief. You know this has to come from Meghan. Just think about it. If it was Spencer, what she got, well, the invisible children, but, you know, Lily, Diana Spencer. Meghan's trying to manipulate history into any little way that she can identify with Diana. It's insane. But so that could be one of the driving forces. You know, stick it to the royal family and I'll align with my mother's blood. You know, but this stunt, but for William, I think this is the end of the road. You know, he's looking at Harry and going, you want to align yourself with the Spencers? You want to be a Spencer? Well, the easiest way to do that, and William won't hesitate, taking away all the titles. The prince titles can be removed. It's not as difficult as they say. Like I've said many, many times before, in lots of situations, the Parliament and the King work together to get things done. There's influence been peddled all the time. Black spider letter memos. Just think of that. Talked about it before. The other issue, oh, you need a letters patent. Well, a letters patent's nothing more than an interoffice memo. It's the king saying, I'll do this from now on. This is how this is going to be done from now. That's all it is. The monarch's prerogative. It's very simple. The monarch can do whatever they want. They just don't like to flex it very often, because they like to maintain the myth of soft power and them just being figureheads, for the population. So but William isn't going to hesitate. Not after this. After Harry absolutely throws the whole family under the bus. After Harry denigrates them and calls them racists and lies about them and sharing intimate things. Harry's got no filter. All he wants is attention. After this latest stunt, I think it's done. Whether Charles wants to make a move or not, and I've said for a very long time there's going to come a point that William takes the reins, and I think we're getting close. And this issue is the impact is going to be huge for this one indiscretion, because it's like the straw that broke the camel's back as far as the royal family's concerned. That's outright disloyalty. But here's the thing. Harry's so stupid. Well, I want to be a Spencer. I'll align with my blood, relatives. Well, what about... But he still wants all the perks and protections and money and status, and... You can't have it all. You can't shit on everybody that's supporting you and expect it to continue. How stupid are you? For Meghan, it's just another stunt. The closer she can get to Diana, she will aspire to... Doesn't matter what it takes. A fake child's name, a different last name. She'll do whatever it takes, because she's that psychotic. I really am starting to believe that she's pretty loopy, and Harry is just like lost in a mental hey, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. This has just gotten to levels of astounding psychosis. And Harry, does he not remember anything? He knows that his Uncle Charles, for all his big talk from Diana's eulogy on, he's really a little more self-serving than altruistic, if you want to be known. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was either the spring before Diana died or the year before that. I think it was the spring before she died. That she had gone to her brother Charles, and she'd asked him, because the Althorp estate is huge, absolutely huge, and there's several, smaller houses on the estate. And by smaller, I'm talking, maybe 4 or 5 bedroom, some 3 bedroom, decent enough. Anyway, so Diana had asked her brother if she could have one of the houses on the estate so that she'd have a private place that was protected to bring the children. Because after the separation, and then the divorce, she had Kensington Palace. She had her apartments at Kensington Palace. She didn't have a summer home. She didn't have a vacation home that she could take the kids and they could be safe. And this is why some argue, oh, she had to depend on others in private jets and friends and that kind of thing. That put her in a little bit of jeopardy. Well, because she felt that she was being shadowed and spied upon, this is why she got rid of her security in the first place. But anyway, he turned her down flat. He turned her down, said, I don't want have to worry about the extra security. I don't want people all up the road, that know you're here and want to get out. He says, I can't be bothered. It's going to be too much trouble. No. He flatly refused her. And this is not talked about much, that gap between that time and her death. And then he comes out with this eulogy that, was really kind of blew his own horn. Oh, I'm going to take care of Harry and William and watch that they don't suffer under, just the royal family. Let them know that they're Spencers. Well, come to find out, over the years, yeah, they've been friendly, but the kids, Uncle Charles has not been the driving force in their lives that he pledged to be. And, what of all this you can see, because he's not a dumb man. He's a researcher, he's a writer. He can see with Harry and Meghan what's been going on. So he knows that their reputation is in the toilet, and these are, family or not, the last two people you want to be aligned with, right? So he rightfully said, no, you don't want to change your name. No. He's not keen on the idea, because you got to think, these couple of grifters, they start using Spencer, aligned with their uncle. What would stop these two lunatics to try to get their mitts on some of Uncle Charlie's money, or the Althorpe estate itself? Can you imagine? I wouldn't put it past Meghan. I'm a Spencer now. Diana Spencer. Lily Diana Spencer. Meghan Spencer. I'm a Spencer now. Althorpe, all this, my family history, my family heritage. No doubt they would try to monetize that. No doubt they would try to use that to their advantage. And I think this is what Charles saw. He also knows they're bleeding money, so to say to Harry, like, legally, way too much trouble, man. You don't want to do this. You don't want to get tangled up in this after everything. So he deterred Harry. But the reaction of the royal family, can you imagine William? That little bastard. He's trying to stick it to us by aligning with the Spencers, yet he still wants everything. I'll show him. He wants to be Harry Spencer. He can be Harry Spencer. This is all the reason they need to strip him of everything. And I mean everything. The fact that you would go behind your family's back when you're begging for status and titles and money and position, yet you do this? No, you're done. You're done. I don't think it's going to be too much longer that we see William taking the reins. And I don't think it's going to be too much longer that we see talk in the press. And they'll make theater of it, of course. The whole stripping them of everything. It'll take a little while, and they'll go through the royal protocols so it looks like so it doesn't look like the king or William can just go, done. No, not another second. Doesn't need to, but all the little protocol and process and letters patent and this and that and meetings and government, and they'll play the game so that it doesn't look like they're just being kicked out on their arse. But I really think after this latest stunt, I really think that the wheels are in motion now for one of the biggest shakeups we've seen in the royal family in a long time. Only time will tell, folks. It's worth watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Oh, and as far as subscribing, if you are subscribed, make sure you are still subscribed, because all across the internet all across YouTube, they've had people dropping off. Lots of channels. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification button. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.